Hi, I'm Annie Botticelli, and this is the Storyteller Forecast for Capricorn for November 2016. Go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com, see what's new on my blog, and if you're interested in being a coach, a life coach, a business coach, in some way helping people this way, you may love my new course that will be enrolling in January. So check it out on my website. So what's going on in the month of November? This is the most exciting, wonderful, good vibe having, advancement and ascension bringing month of the whole year. I am very excited about it for each of the signs. I want to talk about some things specific for Capricorn energies and then go into some amazing details about why this month is so great, and put it in perspective compared to the rest of the year. So we have many gorgeous aspects this month. And every time one of those aspects comes together, it brings opportunities. Wherever those aspects are falling in your Capricorn chart, that's where the opportunities will come. It's impossible to list all the opportunities that could be there, especially this month, because there are so many. But I want to give you some certain sectors that things are likely going to come up. You're going to be completing everyone's going to be completing Mars's movement through Capricorn. Anytime we have a planet moving through our own sign, there are extra resources there for us to use. Capricorn energy, this Capricorn energy for you is showing up in your house of what you put yourself out there as, so I am a this. This is how people see you. This is your image. However you want to look at it, everything from your hair to your wardrobe to your definition of what you call yourself, your job, whatever it is. There is a massive force at play helping you rework what you are presenting out to the world. Occasionally I'll find an old business card that I made from years ago for myself and see, oh, well, that's what I called myself and my work then, and we go through these radical transformations that change how we're presenting what we're doing in this world. And you are in a major phase like that right now. So this is an amazing time to do something different with your hair, do something different with your wardrobe, do something different with what you call yourself, how you present yourself, do something different with your physical body, get into more health, more shape, better exercise, more discipline, totally revamping your lifestyle and making pretty dramatic changes. And you've got a lot of good energy towards that. There is a lot of outward energy, like pushing out into the world, and this is indeed really one of the best months for launches, which I'll go into more details about that soon. But there's also a lot of energy that's working behind the scenes. So some of the things that you might not be quite ready to bring out, you're not going to really have another great opportunity for big launches until like the end of May and next summer of 2017. So things that you think you're going to want to bring out soonish, you want to try to get them out by this month. But if you're working on some other phases of what you're doing, think about those behind the scenes and work on those behind the scenes until next summer. There's a lot of good energy working behind the scenes for you, both your own work and other people working on your behalf. There's a lot of energy in the house that rules, working with groups, organizations, teams, and this could be literally leading a group or working on a team or working for a large organization or working with a humanitarian effort, or it could be using feedback and interactions from these places, social media and whatnot, to help you redefine yourself and your image. Try to get clear on what it is that you're doing here, what you would like to do, and having the support of other people that speak your language. It's tribal energy, your tribe, the people that understand you. We all have our little cliques or our little groups where we speak the same language, and then you go to speak that language somewhere else and people don't know what the hell you're talking about. So look for, and you will find, support within these worlds where things make sense for you or where you're going. There's lots of amazing energy around accomplishment and recognition from the energy in the 10th house. There's also energy having to do with international connections with people, different countries, different cultures, teaching and learning projects, things involving religion. And there's a lot of theme of that going on this month for everyone because of all the energies in Sagittarius. So it's a pretty exciting time for Capricorns in all signs. November is a very exciting month. I'm calling the theme of November for all signs, advancement and ascension. There are lots of planetary energies moving through the sign of Sagittarius. And when this happens, there's an overall optimistic, awesome vibe that's lighthearted, it's fun, it's easygoing. It can be very productive as well, but it can be a little bit dizzying because it moves in a spiral. So it's kind of all over the place. So there's lots of expansion and fun to be had this month, and you'll feel the mood be quite elevated, especially compared to the recent months of eclipses and retrogrades. Speaking of retrogrades, November is the only month in all of 2016 where we don't have any days in the whole month in a personal planet retrograde or a shadow period of a personal planet retrograde. So we had some really good launch dates in October, but we've got even more awesome launch dates in November. Almost every day in the first week is amazing for anything that you want to do. Launches, good times, plans, outings, just overall good vibes. Almost every day of the first week has amazing transits. The 15th, the 19th, the 22nd, the 23rd, the 26th, the 29th. And you can feel these energies often in the days before and the days after. So the month is just completely full of amazing opportunities. When you sign up for my free email newsletter on my website, anniehelpsyou.com, you will get a written version of the good dates, the challenging dates, the overview of the month, every month, a month early, the same way that I do the horoscopes early. So, and you get other gifts for signing up too. So if you want more information or seeing in a written form the energies that are coming up, then definitely go to my website and do that. So Mars is also wrapping up its movement through Capricorn. Mars visits a sign every 2-ish years. So whenever it's bringing its movement and activity to a sign, we have a lot of opportunities to move forward in our lives. Mars is like the border collie of the zodiac. If you've ever been around border collies, I always have had border collies my whole life, and they're busy. They're all over the place. And they can make you crazy, right? Because it's just such active energy, and they're strong and fast, and that's the energy wherever Mars is in your chart and in the sign that it's in. So when Mars is in Capricorn, which it is for the first week of November, that's the end of its cycle there, you have amazing opportunities to wrap up business-related things, work, career, life purpose, things involving establishing your authority, things involving authority figures, anything having to do with father or father figures or people who have played that role to you. As Mars moves into Aquarius, we've got a couple of months of movement along the fronts of everything Aquarian, including all internet-based projects, humanitarian efforts, anything involving groups or teams or leading groups or working with teams or large organizations or humanitarian efforts or friendships or social media. So you've got a lot of opportunity with Mars, especially for things along these lines. There are a couple of spots in the month that are a little bit, I call it dicey, which means that the energies are a little bit challenging. I always think that the challenges give us more opportunities to advance and ascend, so I have an optimistic way of looking even at the challenges. So on the days leading up to that 5th supermoon at 22 degrees of Taurus on November 14th, there could be some emotions. Full moons bring emotions. And speaking of dogs, full moons always remind me of how dogs shake off after they get wet, because emotional energy is represented by water energy. And so at the full moon, any energies that we have in our field that haven't been shaken off tend to get shaken off in the form of some sort of little drama, some sort of little upset, coming to fruition, coming to completion. Sometimes it's a really wonderful thing and there are tears of joy, but sometimes it's just stressful. So I often feel the full moon like 48 hours before it actually happens. That's why I say the days leading up to November 14th. Then by the time the full moon comes, I'm good. I'm done with my moment or whatever. So the fact that this is a supermoon, which means that the moon is actually closer to the Earth, you can see it, it looks huge. It also increases the gravitational pull and effects on the Earth. So anything involving water, like water coming where it shouldn't be, emotions coming where they shouldn't be, excess emotions, can definitely come up. There could be something around the energies of Taurus where it has to do with money or how you make money, your income, something of value, and figuring out things of values, just your values in general. Another very notable transit is a square between Jupiter and Pluto. Whenever we have an aspect between outer planets, which are the ones that take longer to move around, these times of coming together last longer. And so this first Jupiter-Pluto square is happening on November 24th, Thanksgiving. So that could bring some conflicts for people in the United States around our holiday, our Thanksgiving holiday. So look out for that. But this is the first of 3 squares. The second one is March 30th of 2017, and the last one is August 14th of 2017. So from November through August, there's a theme of Jupiter and Pluto coming together in a challenging aspect. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. It wants to expand and go broad. Pluto rules Scorpio, and it wants to contract in and go deep and get really focused and really deep. So when these energies that are kind of, they seem they're actually opposite, come together, it stops you from going too deep or too broad. But I see this as a positive thing because either of those energies in excess have their limitations. So I think that you can get the best of whatever you're working on by not letting your Jupiterian expansion get too big, too fast before you can manage it, and Pluto kind of keeping it in check, and not letting you go down into an abyss that Pluto tends to go down into too deep because Jupiter buoys it up. So you'll see this energy of kind of antagonistic forces at play throughout this time. And I'm calling it a little bit of a buzzkill energy because compared to the rest of the vibes of the month, it's a little bit annoying, but see it for what you can do with it. The last little touchy spot is on the last day of the month, which is November 30th. And that's when there's a challenging aspect with Neptune. So deception, self-esteem pings, confusion, insecurity can come up at that time. But don't let these things daunt you because the rest of the month is so amazing that it's like you can't let anything get you down. So if you would like to sign up for my free email newsletter, definitely go to my website, anniehelpsyou.com. Definitely check out what's new on my blog. I have new things up there every month, and plus old stuff you can check out. And if you're interested in becoming a life coach, a business coach, I have a coach certification and online business training course that is enrolling in January, and you can get first dibs at the open slots if you email me on my website. Also, starting enrollment in January will be my astrology apprenticeship program and my creating successful online business program, which is part of the life coach program, but I also offer it separately. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.